Assalamualaikum and hello everyone. We are from Gusis and would like to welcome all of you to tour the virtual cytology laboratory that we have created. First and foremost, we would like to explain the role of the biomedical scientist in the cytology lab before we head over to the laboratory tour. The role of a biomedical scientist in this unit will be to prepare and examine the range of samples to diagnose cancer, infections, and other diseases. Our laboratory design consists of sample collecting room, gyno cytology section, non-gyno cytology section, cytology screening room, sample slide storage room, document room, laboratory storage room, meeting room, office, on-call room, lounge, toilet, prayer room, pantry, and lastly, the disposal room. Now, let's begin our tour in the preparatory area of the laboratory, which is the sample collection room where we receive the samples. This is where the sample arrive at the specimen counter with a requisition form that has the patient's name and some specific identifiers on them like their identification card number, date of request of the test, and so on. The sample information is entered into a hospital laboratory information system or LI system in the computer to ensure that the patient's name and where the sample came from are identified correctly. There is also a paper rack, shot bin, a sink, yellow waste bin for the clinical waste, centrifuge to preserve the sample, and multi-use cabinet. In this section, we will be viewing the gynecological tests provided by this laboratory. Let's start with the most common test process, which is the cervical smear test. This test involves looking at a cervical sample under a microscope to see if it contains cancer. Other than this test, a breast biopsy which involves a fine needle aspiration, cold needle biopsy, and an open biopsy is tested, as well as a breast MRI and ultrasound. In this department, a few pieces of equipment are used to aid in sample processing. The BD data link middleware connects BD Totalis instrument to a laboratory information system, improving laboratory efficiency while providing continuous sample tracking. BD Totalis slide prep maintains a continuous chain of custody through integration with the BD Totalis multiprocessor. The BD slide printer is a high-resolution automatic glass slide printer that allows your lab to print directly onto cytology slides with information from the laboratory information system. BD Totalis multiprocessor combines full automation of the cell enrichment process for cervical samples, continuous chain of custody, and customizable allocates for alkaline testing. The BD PrintMax automated accessory offers precise automation of specimen transfer as part of the BD cellular enrichment process using BD density region. Next, the aerospace cytology slide stainer or cytocentrifuge automates the staining of liquid-based cytology specimen to facilitate the examination of an array of cell differentiations utilizing perpendicular staining technique. The BD focal point GS imaging system helps more accurately and efficiently screen BD SurePath, peptide slides, and conventional peptide slide. The BD focal point GS imaging system uses algorithms to determine potential abnormalities and rank slide accordingly. Next, the PAT-Test automated sample processor is an automated computer-controlled device designed to prepare standardized thin-layer cytological PAT preparation using a filtration system. This system is a special improvement of the automated system problem liquid-based cytology. Also, a Class 2 biosafety cabinet is utilized in the section while handling the specimen. Under the non-gynecological section, a few tests are performed with specific samples. To begin with, bronchial washing should be sent to the lab in a specimen cup with the patient's first and last name written on it. To avoid air drying, bronchial brushes should be smeared on glass slide and immediately spray fixed or immersed in 95% ethanol fixative. Urinary tract specimen can also be tested. In a sealed specimen cup, urine or bladder cleansing should be submitted. Because of cell degradation and bacterial development, cytology is not suggested for 24-hour urine or urine from a collection bag. For greatest sensitivity in diagnosing neoplasm, 3 voided urine samples are recommended. Other tests in this section include bile duct brushing, cerebrospinal fluid, esophageal brushing, gastric brushing, pericardial fluid, peritoneal fluid, and pleural fluid. Like the gynecological department, this department also contains special equipment to process the sample arriving. Team Prep 2000 processor beyond can also be used for non-gynecological specimens such as for the diagnosis of cancer of the lung, bladder, and gastrointestinal tract, and in the preparation of finding the aspiration of the thyroid and breast. The BD totally slide prep prepares and stain non-giant slide and maintains a continuous chain of custody through integration with the BD Totalis multiprocessor. The BD Totalis slide prep allows you to process BD shortcut, liquid-based pep test and non-giant sample on the same system with additional parameter flexibility. EasyPrep liquid-based cytology solution is a liquid-based cytology specimen collection, preservation, and automated slide preparation system that produces standardized thin layer slide with cervical cytology specimen and other non-gynecologic cytology specimen. Also, a Class 2 biosafety cabinet is utilized in this section while handling the specimens.
Next, we move to screening room. After the staining, the biomedical scientist will check the slide to make sure the staining is right and the preparation are good. Then the slide is ready for evaluation under the microscope. We are now in the cytology screening room, consisting of screeners, microscopes, and computers. First of all, we make sure the sample of the patient name match the patient name on the slide, the requisition, and also the LIS system where the interpretation and the report are going to be placed or put into the LIS system. Next, the slide goes forward to the pathologist to look at the area that have been marked and identified for them as significant. After completing the screening process, the interpretation will be recorded into the LIS system in the computer. Then, we have a sample slide storage room that has tissue cassette, storage drawer, and cytology slide cabinet that provides storage for laboratory specimen and paraffin block in hospital and lab environment. Also, a document storage room includes a wall angle cabinet and other cabinet to securely store and manage document, file, and other form of data. The adjacent space houses a storage room that has a chemical cabinet to store chemical liquids safely and effectively according to compatible group, a hazardous cabinet to store hazardous chemical, corrosive and flammable. Next, we have a meeting room consisting of a bookshelf, projector, whiteboard, cabinet, and air conditioning. They are designed as a place to hold meeting. There are a few office rooms provided for the biomedical scientists that are complete with a couch, table, bookshelf, glass window, and air conditioning. Beside the office, we have an encore room that includes a bed, closet, couch, board, air conditioning and glass window for good ventilation that can be used by healthcare staff to rest or sleep while on call to assign duties within a healthcare facility. Apart from that, we have other facilities such as lounge, pantry, prayer room, toilet, lab storage room, disposal room, and safety equipment such as emergency wash. For the lounge and pantry area, is a place for employees to relax when they are not working or a place for the staff to take a break during lunch hour or in between their working time, especially when they are waiting for some tests to be done. Next to it, we have prayer room to allow Muslim employees to pray in private and minimize the time that workers are away from the job. Other than that, there are also restroom or toilet provided for both male and female staff. Next, we have a lab storage room, which is a room for receipt and registration of all samples, with sufficient bench and shelf space to cope with the input. Storage room used to store both before and after analysis, with adequate shelf space. Proper registration of sample location in the storage place, which is room or shelf, is very useful. Moreover, the cytology laboratory generates waste in the form of remnants of fluid, which is peritoneal, pleural, cyst, sputum, and leftover specimen of liquid cytology. The disposal room is provided to discard all of those waste coming out from the lab. The specimen need to be discarded only after chemical decontamination using at least 1% sodium hypochlorite solution. For sharp contaminated with biologically hazardous material, it must be collected in special container to be sent for incineration. Next, for the safety measure, it is very important of our every lab to provide emergency wash. The purpose is to rinse chemical or other harmful agent from the eyes or skin. Our project in the typical cytology wet laboratory space is designed as biosafety level 2. This is because every specimen that arrives at the cytology laboratory is regarded as severely infected. And here we are at the end of our virtual tour throughout our designated cytology unit. We hope that this tour was not tiring but fun to all of you. That's all from us. Thank you.